Colonel Bartov. I was told you wanted to see me.
First, let me express my gratitude. Your actions saved many Republic soldiers.
I'm always glad to help the Republic Army.
Some of my superiors don't trust your order. They'll have to revise their opinions after this. I won't waste your time, but there's something I need you to clear up for me. My forces apprehended this prisoner during the riots. I need to know why one of the galaxy's worst criminals was helping you.
I thought Pac was one of the guards. You're telling me he's one of the inmates?
It's true. I came here a decade ago as a prisoner, and I deserved it. I did things you don't want to know about. Being on Belsavis, surrounded by scum just like me, it opened my eyes. Even if I could never leave here, I could still change. It took years, but I did it. The warden made me an honorary guard. Said I earned that.
You worked hard to turn your life around, and he rewarded you for it.
I'm trying to make up for the terrible things I've done. The warden gave me that chance.
So you claim. Unfortunately, we have no evidence to support your story. It's possible the records were destroyed in all the chaos. However, it's also possible you're lying.
Whatever he used to be, he's changed. I couldn't have saved Belsavis without him.
Now you see my dilemma. I don't want to imprison someone who doesn't deserve it, but I don't want to set a criminal free.
I couldn't have completed my mission without Pac. He's earned his freedom.
I'm not authorized to let Pac leave Belsavis, but I can see that he is restored to his guard status.
This means everything to me. Thank you both.
I'm sure you have business elsewhere. Thank you again for everything you did here.
I hope you eat properly while away from the ship, Master.
Master Jedi, I'm aware that my recent military record might raise some concerns. I want to reassure you that my squad fatality rates have not consistently been this high.
I suppose that's good to hear.
The first squad I commanded after making Sergeant was sent to free POWs being held at a small Imperial outpost. Intel said the place would be lightly manned. Most of the Imperials wouldn't arrive for another 24 hours. Intel was wrong.
The outpost wasn't lightly manned, or the POWs weren't being held there?
The Imperials sent their reinforcements a day early. When my squad broke into the outpost, we were outnumbered 10-1. We were outmanned and outgunned, but we achieved our objective, freed all the POWs, and came out alive. My squad's casualty rate was 97.4%, but we had no fatalities.
It's impressive that anyone made it out of there with those odds.
They were good soldiers. Far better than any of the others I've had under my command. Our mission was accomplished without permanent loss of Republic resources. That squad was effectively trained, and as a result, we achieved victory much more efficiently.
Then the death tolls are simply a matter of poor resource use?
Good soldiers are a resource. Yes, their loss damages the war effort, but they are meant to be used. Victory for the Republic is worth any cost. Master Jedi, our downtime has had a positive impact on my battle readiness. I believe I'm 14.2% more prepared for combat now.
It's good to know you've been using your time wisely, Sergeant.
I've had a lot of time to think. I've forgotten what that was like.
Relax while you can, Sergeant. There's more fighting ahead.
I'm looking forward to it. I've been thinking about my original squad. I haven't seen any of them since we liberated that POW camp. They seem to be on active duty, but I can't find any mention of commendations or recognition. They should be decorated soldiers.
I'm sure you'll find something.
Carson, Nadja, Eckert. That whole squad has simply vanished.
One might almost believe that you considered those soldiers people.
They'd be most valuable to the Republic deployed on the front. This just doesn't make sense to me. As you say.
Old Doc's always been more of a lover than a fighter. But I had to up my game since you came around. It's not easy looking good when you're fighting next to a Jedi. But I figured out the trick.
Care to clue me in before our next big battle?
Let's just say I'm getting a new nickname. Dr. Knockout. Yep. Next time we're surrounded by the scum of the galaxy, they're gonna be sorry they met me.
Your people speaking of the Empire sound like a distorted echo. When I was born, we thought the rest of the galaxy to be mystery and legend. We had been alone for 1,000 years.
What was it like? I can't even imagine.
We were what you made us. In my youth, Jedi were how you threatened errant children. Obey your masters or the Jedi will obliterate you. For thousands of years, we had total control of 100 star systems. Then the Jedi drove us to the farthest fringe of the galaxy.
That was generations ago. Do people really still care?
Did your people still care to fear us when we re-emerged? This is hardly worth debating. I gain nothing from understanding how your Republic's fools view the galaxy. I am surprised that once your council finishes its brainwashing, any Jedi has a spine left to oppose the Emperor. Perhaps you are young enough to still cultivate the strength of the Sith.
I'm open to Sith tricks. What have you got?
The dark side is no trick, Jedi. When you release the control the Jedi Council has drilled into you, when you feel anger in your every connection to the Force, when you accept that a woman must use any means necessary to prove her strength, then you will have discovered the dark side.
Master Satil, Executor Kranis and his followers are dead. Belsavis is safe.
The galaxy is in your debt once again, but I fear this is far from over.
The Emperor would never devote all his resources to Belsavis. We must find his other targets.
There is a rumor of high-ranking Sith gathering at a remote Imperial space station, allegedly on the Emperor's orders. One of our best scouts volunteered to investigate. He's disappeared.
Sneaking into enemy territory is dangerous. Who is this scout?
He's the man you replaced on Master Braga's strike team. Jomar Chul attempted to infiltrate the Imperial space station where the Sith are meeting, and hasn't checked in since. I know you and Jomar have had differences, but I believe he's onto something.
If the Emperor is involved, this may reveal his plans.
This is worth pursuing.
I'm transmitting coordinates to the space station. I have no advice for getting inside.
Leave that to me.
May the Force be with you.
Finally tracked down my old squad mates, Master Jedi. Wishing I hadn't. General Garza recruited them into the Special Forces Black Ops program. But now, they're in a detention facility on Berun, convicted of war crimes.
War crimes are a serious charge. How did your old squad go from being heroes to convicted criminals?
Black Ops doesn't make heroes. It trains killers. If the right targets die, no one complains. They renamed my old squad the Surgeons, tasked them with destabilizing the Empire's command structure by removing its best leaders. But the Surgeons didn't just target Imperial commanders. They went after the officers' families. They wanted to send the enemy a message.
Killing women and children is never acceptable.
Good soldiers know what acceptable targets are. This wouldn't have happened on my watch. The detention center's warden says my old squad mates are serving life sentences. They're young. That's a lot of years to spend in cages. The next time I get nostalgic and curious, Master Jedi, give me a planet to invade.
I don't believe this! We missed the party of the Millennium last night. It's all over the holonet. Music, dancing, attractive people. We could have been a part of it if we hadn't been on the wrong side of the galaxy, saving everyone's lives as usual. 2 heroes of the Republic would have been colossal at that shindig. Infinite opportunities for romance. We would have had it made.
What you mean is you would have had it made. I would have been stuck keeping you out of trouble.
If that trouble was 1.6 meters tall with green eyes and red hair, I'd have let you off the hook. I'm in the prime of my life, and I'm spending it with people who enjoy running around on exploding planets. All I want is to abuse our fame just for one night. Is that so wrong?
What have you got for me? Only a few dozen senators have access to those accounts. One of them must be an Imperial spy. Until we find out who hired the bounty hunter and why, we can't be sure of anything. This casts a bad light on the entire Senate. Until we know who's responsible, I don't want this to leak out.
I do not know how more to prepare you to face the Emperor. What has your training been? All I know of Jedi ways is from Revan. Surely they have changed in 300 years.
How does someone become the Emperor's wrath?
There has only ever been one. My training as a Sith was not far different than Korriban today. Only my visions set me apart, made them bring me before the Emperor. In his presence, I first saw who he was and what he planned.
It must have taken great will to conceal such thoughts.
Showing anything but submission would have been my death. I alone could not defeat him, so I chose to wait for one who could. I thought Revan and the Jedi exile were my chance.
Revan and the Jedi exile are legends. What were they like?
It should not have surprised anyone that Revan turned Sith. He knew you cannot fight the dark side without understanding it. The exile was harder to read. Even with all she had done, she never trusted herself. With Revan, she was his student again. I liked them. I would have served them, but my vision told me they would fail. I cut down the exile and brought Revan to the Emperor as a gift.
Is that when he made you his executioner?
The only way to live long enough to find the Jedi who would kill the Emperor, to find you, was to convince him to trust me. He took my offering and gave me a place at his side. He gave me immortality. It was a gift, but not without its price.
So, when do I get my own Padawan? Always wanted to be a teacher.
Patience. You'll have your wish someday, and that student will be in excellent hands.
Be a shame not to share my wisdom. Been racking it up fast lately. Here, pretend you're my Padawan. Got a hypothetical moral dilemma for you. Say you could only save the Republic or the Jedi Order. Which would you choose and why? Don't think, answer.
That's too big a question not to put a little thought into.
Bzz, too late. The Jedi Order and the Republic are both dead. Happy? Correct answer was Jedi Order, by the way. Without us around to protect it, the Republic can't survive.
Jedi can exist without the Republic, but not the other way around? Interesting notion.
Puts this war in perspective, doesn't it? We're not fighting for them. They're fighting for us. This teaching thing's fun. Have to do it again sometime.
This is Station Korriban's flame to unidentified vessel. You have violated Imperial space. Submit your security clearance or be destroyed.
You said I could leave this to you. Go ahead.
Transmitting clearance code now.
Stand by while we're so pleased you're here, Grand Moff. You'll find our security airtight.
That is unlikely.
I've cleared a docking bay for you. Please proceed with your landing, sir.
For the moment, they believe I am Grand Moff Fresh. But this ruse will not hold. Prepare to kill everyone.
Killing everyone might make finding out what's happening here a little difficult.
Cripple those you think possess information. Kill the rest. Don't waste any time. Destroy the enemy while we have the elements of surprise.
Report your ailments. You are fit for duty. Return to your post.
Good as new. Right on time. You're practically a droid. I knew if I applied the right stimulus, you couldn't resist coming here.
Something's wrong with Liha. She's not herself. She tricked me.
Jomar was chasing proof you'd fallen to the dark side. He fell into my trap like a greedy child. You were just as easy.
I need information on the Emperor's plans. I'm guessing you can help?
Please, don't hurt her. She doesn't know what she's doing.
Poor boy. You think you love me, but what we shared in secret on Tython was only a shadow of true passion.
They're a couple? Explains a lot.
I'll show you true ecstasy, Jomar. But first things first.
I don't want to hurt you. If you care about Jomar, surrender.
Surrender is for the weak. Jomar had that option. You don't. You remember the meaties? I gave my little droid friends a few upgrades I think you'll enjoy. Briefly. Stop! 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 Where are we?
Liha, it's me. You're going to be all right.
My poor droids. How did we get here?
You've been under the Emperor's control. You tortured Jomar and tried to kill me.
No. That's not possible. No. I can feel the Emperor's presence. He hates you. The things he made me do.
Come home to Tython. Master Satil will help you. I have no right to ask you for anything, but the Council doesn't need to know about us. Please, keep our relationship to yourself.
It's not my job to expose your indiscretion.
Thank you. I'm sorry for all of this. I was wrong about you. My mission wasn't a total failure. I overheard Liha delivering orders from the Emperor to a high-ranking Sith Lord. I couldn't hear details, but I know someone named Lord Fulminus went on a secret mission to the planet Voss.
Just what we needed. Better tell Master Satil.
I'll take Liha home. Thank you for saving her. Us.